Overriding beans in integration tests. Spring Boot. Introduction. In Spring Boot integration tests, you often want to replace real beans with test-specific ones. Common scenarios. Mock external API clients. Replace database services. Override configuration beans. Simulate edge cases. Instead of using real implementations, you override beans during tests. This helps you isolate test logic, avoid external dependencies, control behavior, write reliable tests. What does overriding beans in integration tests mean? It means replacing an existing Spring Bean with a different implementation, only during test execution. In simple terms, original bean means replaced by test bean, means used in test context. Example concept. Test starts means bean overridden, means test uses mock alternative bean. Why this is important. Without overriding, real service used, external calls triggered, tests become slow, unreliable. With overriding, mock service used controlled behavior, fast and predictable tests. Example concept. Test isolation means stable tests. Method 1, using @mockbean. Most common. Spring Boot provides @mockbean to replace beans with mocks. Example. Import org.springframework.boot.test context.springboot.test. Import org.springframework.boottest.mock.mockito. At Spring Boot test, public class user service test. At mockbean, private external service, external service. Example concept. At mockbean means replaces real bean with mock. How at mockbean works creates a mock using Mockito, replaces existing bean in context, injects mock wherever needed. Example concept. Original bean means replaced, means mock used everywhere. Method 2, using at test configuration. You can define test-specific beans. Example import org spring framework boot test context test configuration. Import org spring framework context annotation bean. At test configuration, public class test config. Bean, public external service, external service. Return new faked external service. Use in test, at Spring Boot test, at import test config.class. Public class my test. Example concept. Test config means overrides original bean. Method 3, using at primary. You can mark test bean as primary. At test configuration, public class test config. Bean at primary, public external service, external service. Return new fake external service. Example concept. At primary means preferred bean, means overrides default method. 4. Using at profile, test profile. Define test-specific beans using profiles. Example, at bean, at profile test. Public external service, test service. Return new fake external service. Activate profile, at active profiles test, at Spring Boot test. Public class, my test. Example concept. Test profile means loads test-specific beans. Method 5, using at SpyBean. You can partially mock a bean. At SpyBean, private user service, user service. Example concept. Real bean plus partial mocking. Method 6, override properties instead of beans. Sometimes behavior depends on config. At test property source, properties equals feature enabled equals false. Example concept. Config override means behavior changes. Real world example service. At service public class payment service. Auto authorized. Private payment gateway, gateway. Public string pay. Out. Return gateway.process. Test. At Spring Boot test. Public class payment service test. At mockbean. Private payment gateway, gateway. Auto enteride. Private payment service, service. At test void, test payment. When gateway process, then return success. String result equals service.pay, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, semicolon. Assert equals success. Result. Example concept. Mock injected means service tested independently. Common mistakes. 1. Using @mock instead of @mockbean. @mock means not injected into Spring context. 2. Not loading Spring context. Missing at Spring Boot test. 3. Multiple beans conflict. No qualifying bean. Fix with @primary. 4. Forgetting @import for test config. 5. Not activating test profile. Best practices. Best practices include: use @mockbean for external dependencies, use DTOs and service mocking for isolation, use @test configuration for complex overrides, use @primary when multiple beans exist, keep tests independent and fast, use profiles for environment-specific overrides. Example concept. Clean override means reliable test environment advantages. Advantages include test, isolation, faster execution, no external dependencies, controlled behavior, better test reliability. Challenges. Challenges include understanding Spring context, managing multiple beans, debugging injection issues, choosing correct override method. Concepts learned. By learning this topic, you understand how to override beans in tests, difference between @mockbean and @mock, how Spring test context works, how to use @test configuration, how to isolate dependencies in tests. Simple definition. Overriding beans in integration tests. The process of replacing real Spring beans with mock or test special implementations during test execution. Final summary. Spring Boot allows you to override beans in integration tests using several approaches. The most common method is @mockbean. Other methods include @test configuration, primary, profile, spybean. Overriding beans helps you isolate tests, avoid real dependencies, create predictable behavior. This is essential for writing clean, reliable, and maintainable Spring Boot tests.